start with Ekta. What is the most fun part of writing a book?
It's telling a story. That was easy. It's telling a story. I mean, literally, when it comes to, I write opinion pieces for some magazines and newspapers. When it comes to journalism, which I would agree, you're constrained by facts, you're constrained by words. When it, yes, but when it comes to telling a story, you can just take it anywhere. I love that.
Thank you. So my next question is to Rima. What advice you would like to give to the young writers now?
Young writers?
Yeah.
Read and read again. There's so many people who come who think they can just write a book without ever having bothered to turn a page and read. And I genuinely feel that you're doing yourself a disservice. I don't mean to say you can't doodle and write in your diaries and think of yourself as a scribe, but it's very, very important for you to read as well, because it exposes you to a whole other world, to styles, to craft, to vocabulary, to so many things. The more you read, the more... I mean, I'm still reading all the time, and it's interesting because I have to confess here in this space where people will take my word. I may be a children's writer, but I definitely read more in the adult space, and I'm interested in politics, I'm interested in opinion, I'm interested in a whole bunch of other things. But, all of that does inform what you write, even for children. We are a part of all that we meet, as they say in that same Ulysses poem. Ultimately, the life you live, the people you meet, the conversations you have, the connections you make, the stories you tell, that's what comes back to us.
Thank you so much.
I have to answer, I was homeschooling my boys for 3 years, and I taught them poetry which was non-children. I told them stories. You were saying King Lear, I didn't laugh because I think that's the way it should be. They were exposed to Maya Angelou and other poets, which it's far beyond their age, but I think take what you want from them. But like you said, I think read.
Okay. So next question is to Rima. Do you hide any secrets in your book that only a few people will find?
Yeah, I think being a writer is also very interesting. So yes, you are telling a tale, but you are also in constant. So it's a two-way traffic. It's not. It looks like that. Okay, you have written a book and other people will read whatever. You want some kind of interaction, right? Which is why all the writers love the readers so much.
Yes.
Right, because the possibility of interaction. So yes, leaving breadcrumbs. Now the first book that I have published is a very different kind of book. Your question actually pertains to more in the terrain of fiction writing and those stuff. But yes, even in my very boring non-fiction book on national security, my big chapter is on women in the armed forces. And here I'm just throwing out ideas. Take it or leave it, take it or leave it. Right. And I'm not answering any questions really. And that is where the secret, because that question would mean differently to, it would be seen differently by different people, and there would be 10 different answers to the same question. And that's where the fun begins. Praveen and I wanted to write this book by ourselves. And then we were like, hang on, because it is a subject where more than one approach is valid. Right. So why not get the best people in the country and then create this book? And let's not be selfish and say, nahi. Because वो थोड़ा ego trip भी होता है writers का, मेरी किताब है. We have to eschew our sense of the self and share it with all the brilliant minds that we have looked up to, and say that okay, they are going to be a part of this book, and let's look at multiple ways of approaching it, because it's a big question that we were trying to answer. What works for India in this time? So yes, we took that approach while writing the book, and also in the afterlife of the book. It is to sort of start to initiate a conversation in rooms like these, and not where closed door conversations are happening on very high secret things. No. These secrets have to be talked about in rooms like this.
So now I have a common question for all three of you, and I need your viewpoints on that. How would you describe feminism? I would like you to start, yeah.
Yeah. Do you want a really, really long answer? Because this is a question which is open-ended. I won't put you through that. But I think it is a word that has been used loosely in many ways. I think it's a term that is mostly associated with women, and if you throw it to men, it's beginning to have connotations which are going all over the place. But if you were truly to ask me, I think it just means that you believe in an equal world. Absolutely. Someone, if you ask me, the feminist that I know who's the most, if you ask me, it's my father.